Hello there, and thanks for tuning in once again. And today's tutorial, I'm going to tie you up a soft tackle wet fly pattern. It's an unusual pattern. It's got an unusual name. It's called the orange fish hawk. And as you might guess, I've got this fly pattern out of my book, Flies the Best 1000, once again. And I thought it was a pretty cool looking pattern. So I thought I'd tie this one up for you this time around. So I'll get this guy out of the vise, a fresh hook in, and get started here. The hook of choice is a 3906B. I'm tying it on a size 10. This is the largest size that you would tie it on. So I'll get that locked down in the vise here. Okay, and thread, I'm using UTC 70 denier in a white. And we'll start that thread right behind the eye here. Put a hook eye length or so. And we'll put a thread base back to about the hook point here. Snip that off. Now this pattern calls for a gold tag. I'm using small gold mylar tinsel, gold and silver tinsel, and I want to tie it with the gold side down here. So I'll catch that on my side, just like so here. And I want to wrap that back to just about in front of the hook point here is where I want it. One more wrap right about there. And I'll advance my thread forward. Now, what I want to do is make about 5 wraps back and then 5 wraps forward with this. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll come back up 5 wraps. Same thing. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I'll bring my thread back and we'll tie that off here. Couple wraps forward just to lock it in place. Now I'm going to fold that tinsel back because I'm going to use this excess for the rib. That way there's no need to tie in another piece. So we'll snug that down, put it in the material clip, then we're going to wrap forward. Okay, we're going to wrap up to where we start our thread once again, just like so. Now I'll take my orange floss. I have a single strand of orange uni floss here. And we're going to tie that in at the front here, so I'm going to catch that in here. Just like so. Okay. Spin my thread here so that'll catch that a little easier for me. Alrighty. Okay, we'll catch that in. Pull it to length, and we're going to wrap that all the way back, just like so, to right in front of our tag there. Okay, snug it down, then we're going to wrap forward and try to keep it as smooth as possible. The thread base underneath just makes the floss body smoother when you wrap it forward. Okay, then we'll stop our thread there. Okay, now I'm going to just pull on this floss and try to flatten it out a little bit here. Okay, now that first couple wraps is usually the trickiest. Now I'm going to use my rotary. Just watch your hook point, and I'm going to pull on those first couple wraps fairly tight, and I'm going to let off on the pressure. And we're going to wrap that forward, just like so here. Okay, I'm going to back my thread off. As you can see, floss likes to fray, we all know that. So what I do is it starts to fray on me, just give it a little twist. That usually helps. Okay, now I'm going to tie that off underneath. So I'll come up a couple wraps, then a couple wraps forward. And I'll come in and snip it off nice and close here. And a couple more securing wraps. Okay, next is our rib. We're going to start to wrap our rib and we want the gold side showing, so we'll start that here. And I'll use my rotary once again and probably end up with 5 or 6 wraps here. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing, tie it off underneath. Come up, a couple wraps in front, another one in back, then forward. Okay, then we'll come in and snip off that nice and close there. Alright, there's our rib. Now a couple more securing wraps there to make sure it's in there good and solid. Okay, now the next step, what I like to do, I'm going to take a little bit of on that gold tag at the rear just to make it more durable. Always like taking a little drop of head cement. I usually do this before I wrap the floss, and I sort of forgot, so just want a little drop there, and I'm just going to spread that around, try not to get it on my floss. Okay, just let that soak in there, that's good. Alright, that'll just make that nice and durable. Now, for the hackle on this is some soft light badger hackle. Cut this off a hen cape. So we'll tie that in with the concave side facing rearward and wrap the stem forward, fold it back, lock it in place. Then I'll come in and snip off that excess stem and make a few more securing wraps here and move my thread forward. Okay, next we'll grab our hackle pliers here and grab the tip of that. And we'll get that situated the way we want it to go, and we'll come up. And I'm probably going to make 4 or 5 wraps. I'm just trying to stroke these fibers back just to try to get them facing rearward a little bit before I start wrapping. Whoops, sorry there, I bumped the camera. Okay, then just keep wrapping forward. And I've got to reattach my pliers here. Okay. Just one wrap right in front of the next, like so. Okay. There we go. And I'll probably do one more wrap on this guy. So I'll go down around and come back up, and we'll tie him off right there. A couple wraps behind him. And a couple in front just to lock them in place. And I'll come in and like remove my pliers, I should say. Now what I'll do is just take my fingers and stroke everything back, get all them fibers going back out of the way, and I'll begin to form a head. And as I wrap back forming the head, that's gonna lay back those fibers nice on the for the hackle. And then what I'll do is just come in and grab that hackle tip, just give it a little pull, and that will snap out for you. Okay, now I'm just going to come back a little bit farther onto that, just forming a nice neat little head on them. Okay, and there we have it. It's pretty much done there. We just got a whip finish to do. Now, before I do that, this pattern calls for a black head, so I'm going to take my black Sharpie, just color that white thread here, just like so. Okay, I just got a little fiber there, thread frayed on me a little. Now we're just going to go to the front, then work back, just like so. Okay, we're just going to cover up all that white there. Alrighty, that looks good. Now a little bit more black on the thread here, and then we'll do a whip finish. Okay. I just like using the white thread when I'm using floss, bright floss colors that are quite bright, because it keeps the color when the fly is wet. And then if I need a black head, I'll just use a marker. So I'll make 3 or 4 whip finish wraps here on this guy. And I'll come in, snug that down. Okay, snug it down nice and tight, and we'll come in and snip off the excess thread there. There we go. Yeah, just got a few stray frays there. A couple of fibers I want to snip out. There we go. Alrighty, that looks pretty good right there. Is a done deal. All that's left to do now is do the head of the fly, and I'm going to use solar as bone dry for that, like I always do. And we'll just go around the whole head of the fly here, just turn them upside down. Put a good little coat on there so it soaks in good. It gives it that nice glossy head on them, which is nice on the wet flies and streamers. Not necessary, but it looks good. Alright, just bring in my torch here and we'll cure them up. Only take a few seconds here. There we go. Easy done deal. Another size 10 orange fish hawk. Very interesting pattern for sure. Just gonna see if I can zoom in on him here a little bit without the focus going haywire on me. That looks still pretty good focus there, yeah. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and you got the materials and you can give this guy a tie. Give him a tie and give him a try. So, like always, what I want to say is, if this is your first time seeing my videos and you'd like to see more, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate that a lot, and don't forget to hit the bell and you'll be notified when I put up new videos. And also throw in a like too if you wish. So, for now, I want to thank you for watching. Happy tying out there. Stay safe, and I shall see you again soon. And so long for now, folks.